ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Wednesday, March 25th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop, 304-396-TALK. That is 304-396-8255. Coming up this hour, we're going to hear from Marshall Senior Meredith Maier, Thundering Herd in action in the WNIT. Herd's got to travel to Youngstown State for that third-round matchup. That's going to be Friday night, 6:30. So the Thundering Herd does not get to host, taking on a very game Youngstown State team. We'll break that matchup down further. Also, later on in the program, we're going to hear from Kylie Fisher. She is Events and Donor Relations Coordinator of the Big Green, and she's going to get us caught up on an event that's going to be a fundraiser for Marshall basketball. So we'll talk to those two, but until then, we'll get the text line going at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Baseball yesterday at the Jack. The Mountaineers allowed only one Marshall hit in the game, and the Thundering Herd falls to WVU 3-0. Thundering Herd has an important Sun Belt Conference series at home against ranked Coastal Carolina. That is starting Friday, 6 o'clock at the Jack. And, of course, college softball yesterday. The Thundering Herd getting the victory over the Red Hawks of Miami, 5-4. Thundering Herd still undefeated at Dot Hicks Field. Has won 6 straight games. Marshall has an important Sun Belt Conference series at Texas State this weekend. And, of course, basketball is on the top of everyone's mind right now as we're getting closer to the start, once again, of the tournament on the men's side. And it looks like there's going to be some changes coming to the Kentucky men's basketball staff. There's word that Coach Mark Pope is making some hiring changes, including Keegan Brown as the program's Associate Director of Player Development. Also, assistant coach Jason Hart's leaving Kentucky to take a similar position at SMU. And I'm not surprised by this. North Carolina parted ways with men's head basketball coach Hubert Davis. That is after 5 seasons. NBA action. It was the Cavaliers getting the better of Orlando, 136-131. The Cavs will play host to Miami tonight at 7:30. And on the ice, it was Columbus getting the win over Philadelphia, 3-2. Baseball regular season opener, 8:05, Yankees at the Giants. And then on opening day Thursday, it's going to be the Pirates and the Mets. We go on the air a little before 1 o'clock with our pregame coverage. The Pirates and the Mets. We'll have it for you right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. The Reds will play host to the Red Sox, and the Guardians are going to be at Seattle. And that's going to be the late one. So baseball getting underway. We'll have all the Pirates games you can handle right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. You remember when opening day meant that the Reds were the first team to actually open the season? And that's no longer the case now. And then they kind of started like, okay, we're going to have a game before a real open day. So we're going to have opening day. And then we're going to have opening day. And now the Reds aren't even the first team to start the season. So, I always liked that. That was a neat little tradition that the Cincinnati Reds got to host the first game. Always started the season with the Cincinnati Reds. And, of course, we're going back way back into the machine there for my childhood. But now, everybody gets a start. The Reds will start 4-10, taking on the Red Sox tomorrow. And then if you're a Bengals fan, this is actually good news. I like this. 41-year-old Joe Flacco. Let me stress that again. 41-year-old Joe Flacco, who is younger than me, but still 41 years old as a quarterback in the National Football League, signing a 1-year, $6 million deal to remain with the Bengals as Joe Burrow's backup quarterback. So if Burrow goes down, and I don't know what the Vegas odds on that right now are, but if Burrow would happen to go down again, you got Joe Flacco, who give Joe a few more months with this offense, give Joe a little bit more time in that quarterback room, Joe could be a starter. I don't see why he couldn't be a starter at a lot of places right now in the National Football League. But he's going to be the backup quarterback for Joe Burrow, and that's all right. He's got a lot of leadership qualities. He's got a lot of experience. And I think he's going to be good in that quarterback room. Also, I think he's a guy that's not going to have an ego about it. He likes Cincinnati. He's happy in his role. He gets to continue playing. And you know what? He's $6 million richer. Give me $6 million. I'll back up Joe Burrow. Absolutely. You know what? I'll give you a discount. I'll do it for $5 million. $5 million, I'll be your backup, and I'll be happy, and I'll stash that cash somewhere where I can't touch it. It can grow and make me some more money, and I can live happily. I'll live happily with $6 million. I can make that work. Just to be the backup, Joe Flacco's living life right. That's my take on that. So we'll get your text in just a few minutes. We're going to be pretty busy the next several minutes. The text line is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That is our number to be a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Coming up, we're going to hear from Kylie Fisher from the Big Green. She's going to get us caught up on, there's an event coming up, and it's concerning fundraising for basketball. I think you're going to be really interested about it. If you're familiar with the Kentucky Derby, I think you know where I'm going with that. That's my tease for you. And then here in just a couple minutes, we're going to hear from Marshall Senior Meredith Maier, Thundering Herd right back at it, taking on Youngstown State. So we'll talk to her when we continue on this edition of Your Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We continue on with this Wednesday edition of Your Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. The Thundering Herd getting the win in the second round of the WNIT, now advancing to face off against Youngstown State. That's coming up on the 27th. It's going to be a 6:30 p.m. tip. Thundering Herd on the road to take on the Penguins, and to tell us more about her performance and so far in the tournament is Marshall Senior Meredith Maier. Meredith, thanks for doing it. Appreciate your time this afternoon, and congratulations. It's always fun to get a tournament win. Not everyone can do it, and so you've got a win in the WNIT, and you're looking to take on, for a lot of Herd fans, a rival. For you, I'm not so sure, since there's not that much history between your team and Youngstown in 20-some years. What's your impression looking ahead? This is going to be a tough matchup, obviously, but I know there's a lot of Herd fans that are excited for this particular game.
I think my team and I are also super excited. You know, in my career, we haven't played this team, and so it's going to be new territory. But I'm confident in us and our abilities, and the coach's plan to execute. And so I'm thinking that we can get it done. And, you know, it's obviously going to be fun just to play a competitive team and a competitive style of basketball. So I'm excited to get out there and do it one more time.
A lot of interesting storylines to this one. Of course, you look over at the opposing bench, and you might see a couple of familiar faces. There are a couple of West Virginia girls on the squad, but then you see Shayna Gore, who's an assistant coach for Youngstown State. And you know, you've been at the Henderson Center for a long time now. You've seen Shayna's face plastered. There's a mural there of her. You see her in the record books. People still talk about her to this day. What's that like, knowing that you're playing a Herd legend? You yourself are becoming one, but there's someone that people point to and like, hey, when she was here, she did this, and now you got to go up against her team.
I mean, it's a really cool experience. I've heard of so many great things, especially with her being from Logan County. You know, Peyton's been able to share stories from when she was growing up, watching her play in high school and stuff. And, you know, she really has laid down a footprint here at Marshall. But I'm excited to go against her. I mean, I'm sure she has a really interesting game plan that she's been working with their head coach, you know, and she's a smart basketball player herself. So it's going to be excited to see what they throw at us. But like I said before, I'm very confident in what this team can do. And so I'm excited to just go out there and play a competitive style of basketball and, move on to the next round potentially.
Do you feel like this team got its mojo back a little bit after that win against UMBC, 66-53? It's been a long time since you played basketball. You had to wait for over 2 weeks, and so there was maybe a concern that rest versus rust. You feel like you've got everything back now with that win?
Oh yeah. I mean, we came together after the Sun Belt had ended, and us seniors had talked about it previously. We wanted to play if we didn't potentially end up winning the Sun Belt, and so after we had that conversation, we brought it to the team, and Coach Folks and us talked about it. We just knew we wanted to get out there because we didn't feel like we left it all out on the court in Pensacola, and so we're really grateful for the opportunity, and playing just one more game and just keeping that mindset in the back of our heads. Like, we don't know what could be our last, but we're not ready to give it up yet. And so we're just going out there with excitement and enthusiasm, and we're having a lot of fun with it for sure.
Easy decision. I know Coach gave everyone a few days to kind of process the last game before the tournament. But for you, was this an easy decision? Let's play some more basketball, because at some programs, maybe they're done. You lose in your conference tournament, and they're done. They don't want to do anything else. At Marshall, it felt like everybody was on board instantly.
Oh, yeah. I think that it was a unanimous decision for sure. Just, this is going to be the last group that we have. We don't get to play basketball with each other ever again. So you want to soak up every moment you can. And, when Coach Folks presented this opportunity to us, it was just like you couldn't pass it up on it. I want to play basketball with Peyton. We played 4 years together, and I wasn't ready to give that up. And especially the way that Pensacola ended, I just felt like we had a lot left in us. And so it wasn't a hard decision to make whatsoever. And once we kind of brought it to the team, we realized it was very possible for us to play.
Now you take on Youngstead. You got to go back on the road.
Mm-hmm.
The road's no easy place, but at the same time, it's not that far. Hopefully there's going to be a lot of support from Marshall fans. Just how great was it knowing that there were a lot of people that showed up for that tournament game? Because, again, fans sometimes they're done. They pack it up and they move on. Not this bunch of Marshall fans that have been following you all season long. I mean, that felt like a great atmosphere in the Henderson Center.
Oh, I agree with you. I mean, it was awesome to see so many people come out and support us. This isn't like a regular tournament either, so it was really special just knowing that even though our regular season had ended, they were still willing to get out of their houses, on a Monday night and, come down to the Cam and just be there and be loud. And I mean, they were, and I think they're really a big part of the reason why we won that game, and help shake the rest off. They were giving us momentum when we didn't think we had any, and so it's really awesome to see, and that's part of the reason, why I say I chose Marshall, because not many schools play in the WNIT tournament and get a crowd like that, and so it's really awesome to see, and I was really happy, not knowing if it would be my last game in the Cam, but to get to play in front of a crowd like that one last time, it's amazing, and hopefully we can do it again.
Marshall senior Meredith Maier joining us. The Thundering Herd advancing after the second round victory over UMBC 66-53. Now we'll face Youngstown State on the road in the third round of the WNIT. There aren't that many postseason opportunities for men's or women's basketball at this point. It's changed a little bit, and so now you've got the NCAA tournament and the WNIT. Just how important is a tournament like this for you personally, for this team, obviously, to kind of exercise some of those demons of Pensacola and just to have another place to go play basketball? And if you do well in this tournament, maybe sets up the program for a deeper run next year in the conference tournament, or even getting to the NCAA tournament if this really works out, and maybe you can hoist a championship and set this program up for some future success.
I think this tournament is it's overlooked in some ways. When you think of March, everyone thinks of March Madness, but there's so many Division I teams, and not every team is going to make it to March Madness, but same goes with the WNIT. Not every team gets an invitation to go. And so it's an honor, and, we're not taking it lightly, but at the same time, we're just enjoying every moment because, like I said before, like when we were in Pensacola, we didn't know if we were going to have this opportunity. And so we're soaking it up and, we're making the most of it. We're having great practices. We're stacking practices, putting together great game plans, and we're just making sure we're utilizing every second we get with each other.
Our guest is senior Meredith Maier. The Thundering Herd will face off against Youngstown State in the third round of the WNIT. And you win this one, maybe a possibility to host again, maybe an opportunity to host a couple more. We don't know, but you've been approaching this as every game is, maybe the last game. Is that the mentality? This might be the last game, so leave it all out there?
For sure, yes. Like I said multiple times, you just have to soak up every moment because you don't know when that final buzzer goes off, what the outcome's going to be. It can be different every game. And so, you just want to make sure that you don't have any regrets leaving that court whenever it's over.
What are you saying to the younger players, the ones that haven't been at Marshall for several years? Any wisdom you're giving them as you try to get them through this?
When we were leaving Pensacola, in the locker room, it was hard just because, we didn't know what the future held and we didn't know the opportunities that would come. But one thing I did say is you just can't take it for granted. You don't realize how fast it goes by until it's gone. And so just enjoy it. And, it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, but that's what we signed up for. And so this is a game that we love, and make sure you love it. Don't lose that love for it because once it's gone, and I think it's resonated. And that's what I mean when we say we were having great practices and we're having fun. It's not heavy. There's not a lot of pressure behind it. We're just playing basketball, what we came here to do.
Our guest is senior Meredith Maier, the Thundering Herd back in action. Third round of the WNIT taking on Youngstown State. Meredith, thanks for doing it. Good luck. Hopefully we're talking about another game. Let's talk about a championship soon. That's the goal.
That is the goal.
Thank you, Meredith. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Meredith Maier, the Thundering Herd, Youngstown State. That's coming up this week in the third round of the WNIT. When we continue, Kylie Fisher from the Big Green joins us to tell us about an event that's going to benefit basketball. That's coming up next on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Start your painting project and save big on everything when you shop at Menards. Pittsburgh's premier interior paint is a paint and primer in one that provides excellent all-around performance and a durable finish that's easy to clean. Visit us in-store or on Menards.com to save big on all Pittsburgh paints and get your project started today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer and find more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Stuck in a state of falling behind, struggling to keep up with kids, finances, insurance, and life? Well, let your State Farm agent help you simplify and get to a better state. With State Farm handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too. Adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40% and help you get ahead. Call an agent today and get to a better state with State Farm. In Huntington, Jeff Smith, 304-781-1234. And in Wayne, Vicky Tabor, 304-272-5149.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Juice, Mom. Juice, juice, juice.
Mommy, why are we going to the store? Mom,
I want juice.
Mom,
Juice, juice, juice.
Mommy,
Juice, juice, juice.
Mom.
Juice, juice.
Your child will have different needs at different stages of life, and that includes the car seat. That's right, the car seat. A car seat isn't one size fits all. You have to have the right seat based on your child's age, weight, and height. See, car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. But there's a website that gives you all the information you need. safercar.gov/the-right-seat. You'll find out about types of seats, when to have a seat rear-facing, when to switch it to forward-facing, when it's time for a booster seat, and when it's time for your child to ride in the back seat with a seatbelt. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We continue on with this Wednesday edition of Your Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We'll get to that in just a few minutes, but I want to welcome to the program now from the Big Green. She is the Events and Donor Relations Coordinator for the Big Green. Kylie Fisher is joining us. Kylie, good talking to you and excited to talk about what's coming up for Marshall basketball.
Yes, I'm very excited. We are very excited over at the Big Green.
We have got a Derby Party and Casino Night event coming up May 2nd. It's going to be Kentucky Derby themed dress. So basically, if you're going to the Derby, but you're going to Marshall instead, still wear your wear your Derby gear. Basically, dress up, hats, everything.
Yes. We are definitely going for, the best dress. We will have a Best Dress Award and a Best Hat Award. So please come in your best dress attire, and we are so excited to see everyone there.
All right, let's give them the ticket information first. It's $200 for VIP tickets. It's a 5 p.m. entry. $125 for general admission. Tickets will get you in at 6 p.m. And the VIP tickets include, other than that early entry, you're going to get bourbon tasting. You're going to get a gift bag. You're going to get access to the reserved tables and seats. So there's a lot of advantages. You want to get that VIP ticket. Are those tickets limited, or can anyone get a VIP ticket, or is it till you run out?
It is until we run out. We have a limited number of VIP tickets, but we are going to see how many people we can fit inside. So we would like everyone to come, and it is a support fundraiser for our men's basketball program. All proceeds go to our men's basketball program for this upcoming year. So please come and support them. Watch the Derby. It is going off at 6:57, the final race. So we are super excited to watch the Derby with everyone. Our players will be there. Our coaching staff will be there. So you'll get to meet and talk with them, as well as eat and drink, casino games as well. Super excited about, and it'll just be a really good time. So we're super excited.
Also, there's opportunities for sponsors if they want to get on board with you now, so they're ready to go at the event. So if I want to be a sponsor right now, there are several options. Where do we start?
Yes, so you can sponsor a gaming table, and that starts at $500. You'll get 2 general admission tickets, and you'll also get a logo, whether that be your family or a company, displayed on a gaming table. It's kind of, you can picture that like sponsoring a golf hole, but you're sponsoring a gaming table. And then you have a $2,500 level, which is 1 reserved table with 4 VIP tickets and 4 general admission tickets. And then you also get your logo displayed on your table. Then we have a $5,000 level, and that is 1 reserved VIP table, and you get 8 tickets in total for the VIP room. And you also get your logo displayed on the table, as well as a recognition in our press release. And then our Champions Club level is the $10,000 level, which you will be one of the premium presenting sponsors of the event, and you'll get 2 VIP tables, so 16 VIP tickets in total, exclusive table, premium logo placement on our tables, and then also you'll get recognition and press release, a complimentary bottle of premium bourbon, and your logo featured on the event signage, and we will have that displayed all over the stadium and all over our signage in the Camp Henderson.
Okay, and then the big video board's going to have the Derby.
Yes. So we're going to display the Derby on the video board. We're going to lower it a little bit so it's easier for everyone to watch. And afterwards, we have a video that we've been working on just for the Derby party from our men's basketball staff and players. We're really excited to show that off to our community, and then it'll turn into a party. You guys will be able to play the casino games, and we have a DJ, and then, just dance the night away.
I'm curious. So the tables are going to be where the basketball floor will be. The scoreboard's going to be lowered a little bit. Will there be seating in the upper level of the deck? Anything like that?
Nope, it's all going to be on the floor. So we'll have our tables on the floor, as well as the casino games. We'll have the casino games in the middle, and then the tables on both sides. And the food will be on one end of the court, and then on the other end, it'll be our bar.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah, pretty cool layout. And then you mentioned earlier best dressed, everything. So what are some of the things that you're wanting fans to do, or some of maybe the small contests or things that you're trying to get them to do to maybe, whether it be prizes for best dress? What's going on?
Yes, so we have gift cards going to the best dress. That can be a best dressed couple, or, you don't have to have a significant other. It could just be yourself. Best dressed couple, or, yourself. And then we also have a best dress a best hat award. So we will be giving away 2 gift cards to 2 lucky fans that come and are best dressed and have the best hat. So we definitely encourage everyone to be in their Derby attire, wear what you would wear to the Derby, all the fun suits and fun colors and florals and all that kind of fun stuff. So
Kylie Fisher is joining us, Events and Donor Relations Coordinator for the Big Green, and the big event coming up is the Derby Party and Casino Night at the Cam Henderson Center on May 2nd. Okay, so what goes into first having the best Derby hat? What are the Kylie tips, or what are some of the things that Kylie's looking for?
I would say I want to see feathers. The bigger the better. Any type of fun colors. Maybe some little frill coming out off the side, any kind of rhinestones. Just the more elaborate, the better.
Have you personally had a Derby hat before this event?
I have not, but I have been on the lookout for one. I've been talking to my mom. We've already been looking and shopping, so I'm excited. I am. I'm a girly girl. I played tennis for Marshall, but I have a girly girl side to me, so I'm super excited to dress up and attend the event as well.
Now, is this going to be a custom hat? You just don't go on Amazon and say, "Give me a Derby hat." No, that's not a Derby hat. What are you? Yeah, are you putting this together? You and Mom sitting, taking a weekend?
Me and my mom. Yes, we will be making. My mom and Dad will be attending the event as well, and we have all been. My dad, not so much, but me and my mom have already been looking, and we will definitely add some pizzazz to our hats, whether that's adding feathers or rhinestones, but we will definitely be adding some pizzazz to make it extra special.
Okay, so the glue gun, the bedazzler, everything,
yes,
nothing's off the table.
Correct.
Okay, so that's what the hat's got to look like. Of course, best dress. What are you looking for from the gentlemen, and what are you looking for from the ladies?
I am looking for, from the male side, I would like to see maybe like some seersucker, some matching suits, or fun color. Not just our plain old black and white. I think we can, do some blues and light blues, more spring colors, and some stuff like that for the males. I think that they can find something in their closet.
Okay, for the ladies though, what's the guideline? Again, what's the Kylie checklist look like?
I think more spring attire, the better. The florals, the bright colors, of course, green for Marshall. We always love a Kelly green dress, or pantsuit, anything like that. But the bigger, like I said, the better. I think any type of formal, not super formal, but just spring dresses, spring attire, just like they wear at the Derby if we were going to the Derby in Kentucky.
Kylie Fisher's with us. Again, she's now the Events and Donors Relations Coordinator for the Big Green. And of course, as you mentioned, and of course, for a lot of Herd fans, they already knew this. Kylie played tennis for one of my favorite coaches, John Mercer. So she's been with the Thundering Herd for a long time now doing this, and I'm sure this has been real fun. You get to do the Derby party. So I've got to ask more serious questions now. What's the Thundering Herd themed mint julep going to be? And then, from the basketball team, who do you think is going to win best dressed if you were just judging basketball players and coach?
So if I was judging our basketball players, I would probably say, from the staff standpoint, Rob Fulford. He told me down in Coastal Carolina he's been on the hunt for a fun suit. So I'm excited to see that. And I think Ryan Nutter and Kai Spears will show out with a fun suit and a fun outfit from the player standpoint. So I'm excited to see what they arrive in.
All right, so Coach Fulford looking for the best dress for the coaching staff. I will say this, though. The shoe game is probably going to belong to Coach Jackson.
I would agree. I would agree.
You don't cover him in a press conference. I do. He looks and judges shoes. I wore the wrong
Very
color
specific.
one time. Wrong time. I wore orange, and he looked at me like, what are you doing?
I know him and Erica will definitely look amazing as well, but he will be competing with Rob since Rob has been on the hunt for his outfit now for probably a month.
All right, Kylie Fisher's with us. The Derby Party and Casino Night's coming up May 2nd. Kylie is the Events and Donors Relation Coordinator for the Big Green. Now, I still need to know, what's the Thundering Herd Mint Julep? What's that? What's that going to look like?
Yeah, so we are actually calling it the Marco Julep. Dough Daddies in Huntington is actually sponsoring our food and Marco Julep. They will be creating the Marco Julep at the bar area, and that'll be our signature drink for the event. So we're super excited about getting them involved. If you haven't eaten there yet, I would highly recommend. It is absolutely wonderful. But they are catering the food, and we met, and they are doing a full Derby Party inspired menu with, all the bourbon, glazed, candied bacon, deviled eggs, meatballs, anything you can imagine. We fully dove into the Kentucky Derby menus, and we crafted an excellent one. So I'm super excited, but they will be creating the menu and the Marco Julep that we will be calling it. And we've used the same recipe that the Kentucky Derby uses, and we're super excited about it.
Kylie Fisher's with us. She is Events and Donor Relations Coordinator for the Big Green. $200 VIP tickets, $125 general admission, sponsorship opportunities. If someone wants to buy tickets or learn more or help out by becoming a sponsor, where do they need to go?
They can email me at kylie.fisher@marshall.edu, but you can also go straight onto Herd Zone under the Big Green Events tab, and the Derby Party is right at the top, and you can purchase your ticket online. But you're more than welcome to call into the Big Green office or reach out to me, like I said, at kylie.fisher@marshall.edu, and I'll get you taken care of.
Kylie, we're excited, looking forward to it, and hopefully we'll get you back on soon.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Kylie Fisher, Events and Donor Relations Coordinator for the Big Green. We will get your text when we continue on this edition of The Drive.
Mike Rowe here with a fun fact. Did you know that 50% of the air that you breathe inside your home comes from your crawl space? Yeah. Whether your crawl space is wet, musty, or your floors are bouncy, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to repair your crawl space. Baker's Waterproofing and Basement Authority of West Virginia are now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Looking for midweek fun? Head to Frank's Place, where every night's a party. Wednesdays are full of brains and brews with trivia night. Grab your crew and show off what you know. Thursdays, crank it up with Singo Bingo. Music meets bingo for prizes and laughs. Then Fridays, we hand you the mic for karaoke night. Sing your heart out and start your weekend right. The fun never stops at Frank's Place. Great drinks, great friends, and good times. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Cold weather's on its way, and what do you want on those cold, chilly evenings? A warm blanket and a hot cup of cocoa. Well, you know who else wants the same comfort? Mice. Messy, uninvited guests. They sneak in and leave droppings, chew through your food and packages. Don't let mice take over your home this fall and winter. Call K&B Pest Control. We will kill for your business. Call today, 304-523-4281.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union now brings you all the tech that big banks have, but still has that personal touch of a member-owned community credit union. Apple Pay? Got it. Digital wallet? Yep. Message pay by text, online loan payments, even chatting with a real person, not a bot. Open accounts, sign documents, and manage your money all online. It's the big bank tech you need from the local community-minded credit union you trust. Metro Community FCU. Visit metrocommunityfcu.com today.
Hi, this is Dave Wilson, host of Metro News Talk Line, and you're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Back at it one final time for today's edition of Your Drive. Our text line 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter says, Paul, I really enjoyed myself at the Herds women's game. I should go more often. With that being said, if they make a strong NIT run, my prediction is Coach Folks will have a new job. While I'm always hopeful that the Thundering Herd makes a huge run, I don't think that she's going anywhere, and I don't say that to mean that as a slight. I think she's going to stick around for a while and really get this program going. She doesn't seem like the type to me that's just going to take off. I think she likes it at Marshall. I think she wants to build Marshall up. She could leave her mark at Marshall University and get this program really going, get this program rolling, and maybe in a few years, this thing is really taken off. Then you got to look at, okay, how do we keep her? So I don't mean that as a slight, saying, no, she's not gone. I think she's the type of personality that's going to stick around at least for a while. Build something at Marshall University. And that's not a shot at any other coach. Of course, I know we talked about Kim Caldwell, the past few days and the problems she's having right now trying to re-energize and reignite that Tennessee Volunteers program. That was a dream job for her. And so that comes around, once in a lifetime? Not too many people get to call themselves the head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers in women's basketball, so that's a big deal for her. And Coach Folks has worked her way into the system. She's doing a pretty good job right now. This team is on the verge of being in the fourth round of the WNIT. Get the win against Youngstown State. And who knows? Anything is possible. The sky is the limit. But not too many teams are playing basketball right now, and the Marshall women are among those teams still playing. We appreciate the text, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. You can text in tonight. I'll get them tomorrow. You can find me on X at Paul Swann. Tomorrow's our final show for the week. Can't be with you on Fridays, so tomorrow's going to be the big one for the rest of the week. We got a lot to get into, so we'll do that tomorrow. And, of course, you can find me on X at Paul Swann. The podcast will be available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, or you can download the app. Just head over to our website, wrvc.com. You can listen to the show there on demand. Also, you can download the app, and you can stream the show live when we're on the air on your iPhone or your Android device. We've got plenty of ways for you to be a part of it. And I thank everyone that was with us today. My guest, Meredith Maier, we appreciate her checking in, and Kylie Fisher from the Big Green. More tomorrow on this edition of The Drive is over. ESPN 94.1 AM 930.
WRBC Huntington, W227BS Huntington, your flagship home of the Marshall Thundering Herd and The Drive with Paul Swann, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.